Yes, sir. In our defense, we both did say that this night wasn't going to be the best for us, and this is the night they chose to to have the featured game. Sounds good. While you're doing that, I need to go grab something actually, so I'll be gone for like 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Right.
I am forsaken. Well, now I'm just mad.
All right, I'm back, everybody. Yeah, I'm super pumped for all of this league, especially with just kind of finally getting something across the board when it comes to um, just League of Legends across Kansas City, and then especially when we can have two teams like this going against each other. Kings has really always been the team that people have kind of almost looked up to. You know, this has been the team that was created after a tournament. People like playing together, and they've tried to really refine themselves as the top team within LeagueKC. So this tournament here, or really the whole LeagueKC league, or whatever we're going to call it, LKC, I think is what someone threw out there, when LKC. And so we can be able to see what that just looks like when it comes to who can really come out on top, and just get great games like the last game that we had. Again, sorry we didn't get to show that off, but if you have a chance to be able to somehow see that or talk about it, it was great. So we see some bans. We can talk about some bans, and again, hopefully not to explain, like to give any spoilers, but we see the Kled being banned out, which again, was a pretty big part of the win that happened and transpired. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these picks and bans changing up is going to really help affect what we're looking at across the board. Yeah. We had Godvin talking about the Ezra, Lulu, and Nami is up. I mean, doesn't look like Nami's getting picked at all here. What? So I want to hear from Godvin if you are going to type it out in Twitch chat and such. What your feeling is with Nami being left up. I'm a fan of Lulu being picked up right away, so that way they can just give some great protection. I don't know. I didn't seem like it. There were times in the last game it seemed like it was great to be able to pop up and get someone with a bunch of health, but I mean, at the end of the day, a Zyra is going to put out more damage than a Lulu. And actually here we see a Victor being picked up, which that is actually a little bit shocking to me. Victor isn't someone that we've seen as highly contested or used across the board when it comes to mid lane. And speaking of mid lane, we have a Lucian mid lane. How do you feel about that? I think people look to Victor as a good counter because one of the reasons Lucian is so good in the mid lane, even as unconventionally as that sounds, is because he's able to dish out like a lot of just bursts of damage. You know, being able to do his double tap, use his passive, be able to get in there, put out some damage. And with Victor, you have a combined shield with being able to put damage back, so you can win those trades, and then in addition to that, being able to just wave clear and make a solution cannot just completely bully you out and oppress you. And I think those combined, I think, is why what you're referring to is just kind of a good go-to when it comes to playing against that Lucian mid. No. Yeah, and I think it really comes down to that. They're just gonna have to win early. They're just gonna have to win early game. The Lucian's gonna have to bully out the mid. The Renekton's gonna have to get huge, and then allow the Karma and the Ivern to be able to just simply support that movement and get them going. And then really Sivir's just going to help with wave clearing, getting into the team fights. But if they don't get ahead, and if you, like you were saying, if the tanks are able to survive and be able to get that armor and make it so they can just stick to people and stay unkillable, man, that Gragas and Sejuani, that's gonna be such a dirty combo. Someone's gonna get caught out and CC'd and not gonna be able to press any buttons. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because especially this is just more abnormal team comps than what we've usually seen. Lucian mid is obviously different. Sivir, I'm sure Godvin and Twitchtat. I mean, Sivir's not a person that we've been seeing a whole lot lately when it comes to kind of the usual trinity of AD carries that we see in the bot lane. Ivern, well, he's just weird and just does his own thing in general. But we see Sejuani on the other side, and Sejuani really has made a comeback with the mid-season changes to her kit. She's been pretty strong lately. I think she got a nerf recently, but I still think she's pretty strong. And then being able to combine that with a Victor, who's also just a little bit different in the mid lane. This is kind of a different team comps we see from both teams. Yeah. 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 I guess. Yeah, that's yeah, I guess so. Blue side, you think blue side draft is stronger? Godvin's thinking blue side draft is stronger. I don't know. I think blue side's early is definitely, yeah, definitely going to armor pen. Yeah, I think blue side's is stronger when it comes to the early game and be able to just be oppressive. And if they can make the Kings play their game, then they're going to win. But if the Kings are able to get tanky and be able to utilize Gragas and Sejuani's engage, I think they're going to have a very, very difficult time. Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of Yamsu really impressed me that last game. Again, I won't try to give too much away from the teams and everything like that, but he did play Vladimir. I mean, that's something that you can go see if you want to. He did play Vladimir, and I mean, he was going so deep into the back line, trying to get and pick out the targets that he really knew how to press the limits with Vladimir, knowing how much his ult's going to get back to him, knowing how much damage he can push out and get back with his Q, and be able to exactly heal himself back up. And so I would say, again, if that extends to Lucian, if he knows how far he can press Lucian, if he knows how much damage he can deal and how much he can take from a Victor, and just for the rest of the team, I could see him putting the team in his backpack and really dictating the pace of this game.
A summoner has reconnected.
Oh yeah, because he was like 0-4 or something, wasn't he?
Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, that's true. We have Zarlola saying that Neswa had a bathroom break, so that's pretty funny if that's true. Which, I mean, happens. That's fine by me. You gotta go. Good segue. Speaking of going, we see everyone going towards. Looks like everyone is just kind of rushing down mid. We do have a back ping towards red side. So blue looks like they're calling just for the defensive line. You know, just kind of goal lining it up like you would in football or something like that. Let's just make sure we don't see anything coming through. But ooh, red. They spot him out. Which, so we haven't seen as many like invades and things like this in LCS. You know, ever since kind of there's been a big pace change with first turret gold, armor on turrets and things like that. We haven't seen as much invading or fancy types of level ones. However, something that you learned if you watched those before is if you were going to try to invade with a lot of people into one area, usually you try to drop wards, at least one ward on the opposite side, so you can see if the other team was sneaking through at the same time. So blue side knows exactly where the jungler is, and granted at the same time red does have a ward on red, but they don't know much past that information. So it looks like they are trying to hide out in the tri-brush, but they are trying to make sure that Ivern does not triple buff them or anything. But great damage coming out from the tri-brush. That's annoying. Yeah, because they have to go straight down the lane. They can't do anything. And Ivern, wow, this is actually really smart from Ivern. Ivern, since they only warded the red side, and they didn't wear their own blue, has gone and taken Kings' blue, and is going to look like he's going to do an immediate gank. Lefty coming up. There's a flash from Captain Jax. Missing the Q, so much damage coming out. A flash forward from Lulu with the heal coming out from Sivir, trying to make sure that doesn't die. But I mean, yeah. But, oh. And this, if you're looking at the other side of the map, you see some good communication when it comes to Kings, because when Ivern ganked bot, they said, oh, he has blue, so he stole our blue. And so Sejuani went immediately to the blue to be able to take that, and it doesn't look like she's thinking of it. Oh, first blood, though. Good stun. Hey Riz, it is good to see you. Still trash talking Ness. But yeah, so yeah, Roy or not Royal, sorry, yeah, Nitro, yeah. Blastoise giving me the trouble, but no, Captain Jax in that first blood is 10 CS up with comeback with tier, which again, usually you look at that and you say, oh, they're coming back with tier, that doesn't, he's not going to be ahead. But the fact that now basically he's not going to get punished for having a tier at all, and that's just going to be amazing coming back through for that. Yeah, a couple minutes ahead on his power spike, rather, and then just nothing that will be able to stop him from continuing onto that power spike. Because a lot of times you can come back to lane and okay, I have a tier, and then the other AD carry has, you know, some long swords, or if they got lucky like a BF or something like that, and be able to really compete what's going on. But the fact that he has a tier and isn't losing anything because of it is going to be huge for Kings. Mm-hmm. Here comes the stun. Practicing their best scumbag crepo they can. This kind of goes back to the champ select when we were talking about what each team needs to be doing in order to win, and we said that we had to see Lefty and Nachos and Yam, so we had to see all of them really get ahead and push. You know, Bundinsko needs to make sure he gets ahead, like really far ahead. They had to push the advantage that they get from being ahead. And what we really said for Kings was, hey, really, they just have to go even and get armor, or and they can pull us out. And they've done the opposite of both of those, and they've actually pulled ahead themselves. So it's already, we're 6 minutes in, and it's going to be an uphill battle the entire way for adversity. Right. And we'll see how much of the CS that Sivir can pick up, because are just super far behind in CS just at this point, and so we're seeing what they can do there. It looks like Bundinsko, as much as he is ahead CS, is that going to be enough to actually carry the team ahead of this 1-0-1 really far ahead Ezreal? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still going aggressive in mid lane. Get through. Yeah, I'm still holding on to that heal, knowing that he could be able to take that damage from just the lightning storm and all kinds of damage coming out from Victor. So definitely good advantage if you can get a flash. I mean, if you can trade flash for flash as a mid laner with a jungler, I mean, your jungler's gonna be happy, your team's gonna be happy. But if you get a flash without having to burn any summoners on your team, you walk away just wondering when you can press the advantage even further from there. A question from Twitch chat, Nitrosaurus, is it safe to say weakest point on both teams is the bot lanes? I would agree with that. I feel that Adversity, it seems like that they are just kind of allowing themselves to be pushed around, and if nothing else, I just have to say they picked a kind of a weak lane in general. So not only would I agree when it comes to just skill-wise that they are often considered weak, but that they didn't pick a very win lane, win game type of bot lane. And then whereas Kings, again, not saying Kings is bad, not saying that Kings is by any means, you know, anything other than the diamonds that they are, I would have to say that it seems like their bot lane is usually hey, don't fall behind, and then we can make sure we carry and win this game. And that's what oftentimes happens, is that they do fall behind, but because of how strong the other team is, they can make sure that they don't, you know, completely destroy the game. Godwin also agrees. Yeah, it is gonna. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Exactly. Yeah, he really kept his head. He didn't try to panic. He didn't try to just get back to his tower. He realized, okay, if I make sure I just play my game and play myself as Gragas, you know, give some good CC, make sure that I deal out the damage, and like you're saying, that great ultimate back into the tower, definitely sealed the deal, because Renekton's cooldowns are about to come back up. He was about to be able to, you know, stun, get away, slice and dice, get away. But I would agree, Godwin, that was pretty questionable. I mean, he just kind of he didn't need to do that. Like, he was already ahead. You know, he didn't have to press the advantage like that. Just continually apply the pressure, and he would have been fine. Red buff applied. Yamso does get stunned within there, trying to bait it out, and it's a really long bait. But there's the flash over the wall from the stun, and there he completely gets wrecked by just all of a sudden people show up. That was probably one of the best baits I've seen by someone mid. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, again, questionable 1v1s going in there, but he does have X Drinker, so I guess he feels confident about it, so we'll see what happens there. And Kings, great job from Neswa, just pushing out mid, making sure Lucian can't go anywhere, and they all collapse under that dragon, so I don't think anything's going to happen here, because they should be able to immediately secure this. Yep. I like when teams take dragons. Good stun coming in. Double stun, some slow coming out. Fire Theft just having to back out. Yeah. And that's why Gragas is considered one of the best top laners right now. Just being able to still build tanky, and we can see the triple Doran's ring is commonly what we see when it comes to that. Oh, and we see the Rift being at least started, which I enjoy seeing. Budinsko uses his dash forward, and he's going to get stunned very long for everything. His head shrinker is keeping him alive, but there comes the stun. Is the tick going to do enough? Yes, and Neswa does get the kill with his ultimate. Flashes out so he doesn't get killed. And we see Gragas joining the party. Flash from Yamsuo, but is the sun going to come out from Sejuani? It is. His head shrinker and heal may be able to keep him alive. They should be able to dive in a turret and secure the kill. Sejuani? Oh, Captain Jax. I'd say again, this is where we've seen Kings show off that they've been playing together for a while, and they do play well together, because the bot lane was roaming at such the perfect amount of time. It couldn't have been any later, but that was such a great heal from Captain Jax, realizing that Sejuani was going to go down from that tower, because that would have traded back some of the kills that they had. But at the same time, I think they would have still probably gotten the tower, but if you don't lose anyone off of that because you're able to heal them, I don't know. I think that's great. Nitro saying Lefty should have gone for a tankier support. Yeah, probably either someone tanky or someone, I don't know, maybe they were even looking at trying to just give some speed up, making sure that Renekton can be able to get in there, because between Sivir and Karma's speed up, I mean, you can really get in places, and the shields from Ivern and Karma, but that is pretty binary in thinking. What if they did take a tank and they were able to have more, declarative CC for locking down an Ezreal or a Victor? Yeah, there's, like I said, I don't think they chose the best bot lane that they could have composition-wise. Hmm. Oh, here comes Steve. Oh, but cancel. Oh, knockback. Oh, very slow. Oh. Yeah, and the flash out from Sivir makes sure that Neswa coming in with had a solid roam there, but just wasn't gonna make anything of it. And here comes Rift down the mid, and we have a TP coming in from Gragas to try to stop this Rift from taking this mid tower. But we'll see how much damage gets put back out. And there goes Head. Comes Ness on the backside. Yep. Yeah, but we do need to see them taking down some turrets because they are down 3,000 gold. So we're really hoping that they don't continually get squeezed out. And I say hoping again, not trying to. I'm not being biased or anything. I'm just wanting to see a good fight back, a good pop band coming in, and it looks like that's where it's going to happen. It looked like we were going to see Adversity try to maybe take control or at least even up the game a little bit, and they just haven't been able to equalize as much as they would like to be able in this situation. Kind of back to some conversation. Oh, Lesbia's been go forward, polymorphed, and I think that stopped within there. But some conversation that was going in the Twitch chat talking about Nami versus Karma in this situation. Whereas I can see Karma fits really well into the shield and Dragon, we missed that, sorry. Dragon going on over to Kings. No, you're good. Whereas Karma does help with the idea of kind of charging and giving a lot of shields for everything. I would probably agree with you guys. I think Nami is in such a good place right now with the safety in lane, being able to make sure that everyone stays healed up, the chase down from her bubbles, and the speed up that she can give herself, as well as the wave. Because as Godwin, which or Nitro was pointing out, who's going to peel for both AD carries, they're only really all you can say is themselves at this point is going to do that. Alright, so they did finally take that mid lane, but I mean at the cost of bot inner going down and McKnight going down to Bedinsko as he tries to go forward and save the tower. So I just see them pressuring this top lane more and more and being able to get this other tower, get even further ahead in gold. Yeah, for sure. It's better than getting nothing, and we see Adversity doing a good job knowing that they're going to be putting pressure onto the top side, so they themselves are trying to gather up here. But we do see Bedinsko kind of all caught out. Ivern was there, but now he has gone away. The shield coming in from Ivern isn't able to save him. We see Bedinsko stun up, trying to get some heal back up there. Great ultimate from Gragas. Nail putting back here as Polymorph, and slow shield, Hex Shinker, flash over the wall. Great stun coming in from Sejuani, but they are able to chase. And oh, actually, he was able to get out. We see Yamsu coming on the backside and able to. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was and they keep going. Yeah, you saw some pings, and you saw this right here is actually the classic Kings move. Captain Jax loves calling a move like this, where instead of necessarily going for a fight, you just simply pressure your opponent into a bad position, and then therefore you are able to then go and just take a tower, go and take an objective somewhere. And that's a move the Kings love, but they hate seeing it used against them. I mean, that was a great job from Adversity. They are trying to retaliate and get this game back on the even playing grounds. For sure, I was ready to call Bedinsko going down, but he kept calm 3 different times, but between the Hex Drinker and Ivern and everyone helping him out with that dive, Yamsu did a great job of immediately focusing the Lulu and taking her out. It was just a great job coming through everything there. How's the King's jungler been doing? Didn't get seen the first game. First game he was trying to carry on J4, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, son? / medium. Sorry. Yeah, I think part of it is people don't realize that Jarvan, not sleeper OP, but just sleeper A and S tier. People just don't know that he can do pretty well. He's doing pretty well right now, and it looked like whenever I was able to see what I was. We can't hear Meaty. They can't hear you, good sir. Apparently they can't. Or can you guys hear me? We do see a fight in the top lane. Budinsko, I think I'm going to call him going down this time. Oh, but Ivern coming through, and Daisy is not able to save him through. So I get to call it at that time. He did go down. Daisy trying to do her best and fight through, but just not able to put anything out. And we see Budinsko go down. Again, that's not what we want to see. A 2-4-1. Only mine's been working. Well, I feel special being able to talk out loud about everything there. You might have to check on OBS. Sometimes the properties get changed and you have to pull in. All right. Well, until Sun/Mediumits gets that figured out, I'll try to do more play-by-play what's going on and such. And we see them again heading down towards the dragon. They've been doing a great job this game of taking the dragons and getting wards out, taking control of everything. And this is really the first time we've seen Adversity actually even contest a dragon. No one can hear Sun. It's such a sad day. Great job by Lulu being able to just poke out the vision orb, making sure that no one can be able to see, and I think this dragon is going to go on over to Kings. 2 Ocean Drakes, 1 Mountain Drake going on over for Kings. So, well, I don't know about before, but I can bring it. Yeah, we weren't able to do the first game, so. Let's see. B Rizzle saying in 10 minutes. Oh, I would agree. You see that they're going to complete their second armor item. Yeah, that's a huge point to be able to point that out there. So shout out to B Rizzle showing that, hey, here in a second, that unless Adversity gets some armor pen, then they're just going to be tickling the Gragas and the Sejuani. Great job trying to clear out vision. I think both teams are recognizing that really at this point in the game, some of the only objectives that we'd be looking for would be the Baron. I mean, we do have some of the towers that are still up, and it is really important for Adversity to get that bottom turret out of the way so they can be able to actually pressure on the Baron, because you want that bottom lane to be able to help dictating if you can go for the Baron or not. And yeah, we'll see some of the next items that get completed out here, and we do see the Iceborne Gauntlet coming out for Gragas, which is great for him because of all the CC that he can be able to continually push onto people, and with all the damage or the damage and the slow that he can be putting out there, the Sheen proc that he can have. Not only is it just kind of a scary item in Gragas in general, but then you are applying the armor and the cooldown onto everything there. So. Great job from him. Sejuani, I think should be going back here pretty soon, probably, and getting some items within there. We'll see how things look.
All right, everybody, you should be able to hear me now.
Can you hear him?
Apologize about that. Hopefully everything's working. I definitely did not have my mic turned on OBS. Should be on now. So I apologize for Spirit Bear sounding like he's crazy talking to himself because it's completely my fault. So
yay!
All right, awesome, awesome, good.
Good to have you back.
I'm super excited to be back because I've been literally shoutcasting for almost an hour now, and apparently none of it has been recorded. Nothing of it has been heard. So
again, in our defense, we didn't have time to set any of this up because
yes.
they said what nights work best, and we said any night except for Thursday and Friday. I was talking to you, Riz. I was talking to you.
All right. So yeah, hopefully that means nobody heard my long spiel about the league getting at the
that's
beginning.
true.
Oh yeah, this is just turning into a great night. Yeah. So yeah, long story short, we're doing this fantastic league. This is a match between KC Adversity and the KC Kings. Now that everybody's caught up to speed. All right. I'm sorry, now I'm just super off. Alright, so it looks like KC Kings are making a push towards the mid lane, or maybe they're just pushing it out so they can make a run at Baron.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, like I know a lot of people watching are decent at League of Legends and understand a lot of it, but this is so great to see a team communicate and understand how to get vision of different areas and control of an objective. And we see a great engagement again. Budinsko getting caught out. I don't think he's going to survive that one. No, he does go down to Victor, and they just keep charging forward. Again, that armor just being able to protect everyone coming out. Yamsu doing what he can do. He's never able to pass it back. Here comes Gragas jumping inside. He's not able to keep going from there. We see Victor flashing forward, able to put a lot of damage onto the Karma. That's 2 kills. That's 3 kills coming in for the Victor through there. Fire Theft does go down. We see Yamsu going aggressive, but he does get knocked up and stunned. That's 4, and that could have been a technically a pentakill for Victor,
man.
but
They were sticking around super low health there. The KC Kings were they really wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I mean, obviously they should have. They knew exactly what they could do for the pressure, and Nesso doing a great job of finding the targets they needed to burst out. And we saw against Sejuani and Gragas, even though they both are dead, they did exactly their job. They tanked up, they CC'd, and just caused all kinds of problems for adversity in that.
Absolutely. Now are the Kings going to be able to get out in time? It looks like Renekton is going to let them leave. They're going to get away with 2 towers just like that.
Yeah, B-Rizzle hitting right on the money for anyone in chat. Kings played around their visions so well. They funneled adversity into decision. They said, all right, either we are getting Baron right now and you're not going to be able to stop us, or you have to come check to make sure we are doing Baron. And when that happened, again, they funneled directly into all kinds of CC coming in. And, I mean, I love seeing Renekton's being played, but Benunskill, man, he played so well on Kled earlier and is just not able to perform and give the same results coming on to Renekton.
Yeah, definitely not quite the same results on the Renekton as there was from that Kled. That Kled was very strong.
I think part of the reason that Kled was strong was he could do things like he has been doing right now, where he just dives in deep into the enemy team, and then whenever Skarl gets popped and runs away, there's that little bit of time that now he can run away, or now he can be able to escape from the team. Whereas Renekton, he's getting in there, even through all the shields, still gets blown up, and then nothing happens because of it.
Well, and I almost wonder if, I don't know how comfortable Budinsku is on that Renekton, but he definitely might have just been trying to take it away early from Fire Theft. Because I know that Fire Theft really likes the Renekton, so it might not be his strongest champ.
That is true.
At which point he's, I think, to tell you the truth, that's probably the way that Fire Theft has been performing on the Gragas. I mean, 1 and 2, not terrible. I mean, considering you're going to be a tank in the top lane, but definitely preventing him from being a super hard carry on Renekton. Alright, but we are going to see a lot of this play around Dragon, or Baron at this point. Dragon as well, I guess, as Captain Jax and Fire Theft take out that Dragon. That's going to be 4 dragons for the KC Kings. Doing very well as far as the dragon game goes. Still quite a bit ahead at this point. They've got, gosh, 8,000 gold up right now. Definitely pressuring that Baron. Just took out every single ward that the adversity had in there. They are going to be completely blind at this point. They do have a couple of blue trinkets up and available, but they must not feel it's that important. They must know that they're not quite on that Baron yet, especially with... well, Gragas does have his teleport up. They are pretty confident, though, that they've not started Baron. They do have the ward there now. But they are now, KC Kings have that full, complete vision of the Baron. And I think they're going to try to do exactly what they did last time. They're going to try to bait it. couple members of the Kings there just sitting, waiting, and just destroying every ward that gets thrown at them. They have enough. They have enough trinkets that they're just destroying that vision.
Oh yeah, Devin, if you can, it says we are streaming Extra Life, so if you can hear me, we should switch that to streaming Legends.
Nice. Will do.
Oh, I hear you. Yay. Yeah. Shout out to Bay for that one.
Again, the planning for tonight was just fantastic on my part.
Well, I think, and again, for actually, I don't think we ever said it, but I think ideally, like, Meaty and I, Sunshine and I, our plan is to, we don't live that far apart from each other, so I think ideally we want to, you know, meet each other in the same exact location, use a better setup that'll, you know, that'll help us play off each other a little better. We'll also be able to do a podcast or something like that as well. Yeah, I would agree. Nitro is lagging for me on the stream as well. Yeah, let me see if I can refresh if that helps us out a little bit here.
That's weird. It's not showing any drop frames on my side.
I was saying 24 frames per second, so if it's still lagging, don't worry. Baron Nashor has been taken without the Sejuani even there. Sejuani was playing, you know, goalkeeper on that one, so great damage coming in from Captain Jax with just one Mystic shot on that. So looks like we are back a little bit. I refreshed and it looks like, all right, it's all good now, yeah. So maybe that was just something from Twitch's side, but we see Baroned Up Kings looking to simply completely push and crush down these towers. They can't get close to stop it at all without the fear of the Sejuani's long-range ult and the Gragas being able to knock someone back into them, and they're just going to simply march on in and say, these are our towers, please and thank you very much. Thanks for the gold. Peace out, Girl Scout. Budinsku learned his lesson. He dashed in and dashed back out. So, I mean, that's looking good, right?
Definitely has gotten a little bit tankier since then, since the last time that happened. But yeah, he's still not taking. He's gonna make sure that he's safe this time. They're just gonna keep hammering away at this top tower, though. Those Baroned Up minions gonna do some damage, and that is going to go down. But that means KC Adversity is going to engage.
Great polymorph.
Doing a whole lot of damage. And unfortunately, KC Adversity is going to be ace. That is a 5-4-0 right now, and with some Baroned Up minions, I think they're going. KC Kings are going to BM this way at one all the way to the Nexus.
B Rizzle, our plan is to shoutcast at least one of the matches for the weeks, just because within the league, because you know, just want to kind of give a good view of everything that's going on. But I think, I mean, if it works in our schedule and we can shoutcast more, I think that'd be fun to do. I don't know, Sunshine, what your thoughts are on that?
Yeah, absolutely. My plan is to, I mean, shoutcast as many as we have available, as well as otherwise. Just before we started shoutcasting this, my plan was to just kind of jump on and even just record the match, shoutcast and record the match, upload it to YouTube at least, so that it could be reviewed and everybody could watch it. But yeah, we're definitely open to doing as much as we can. But I think the goal at first would be to do at least one featured match a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so that finishes up officially game 2 of our first series of the LeagueKC League Season 1. It looks like everybody is getting ready to head into game number 3. I see, or maybe not. I'm not sure. I haven't been invited yet.
Same. It looks like Fire Theft was creating the custom game, so I think they are getting everything situated and moved around a little bit here.
All right, so KC Adversity, it looked like they lost most of their lanes to me. I think that was a big piece of why why they ended up losing that game, because we talked about they needed to snowball all of their lanes really quickly, really early on, and they unfortunately weren't able to do that in any of their lanes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what was just talked about before was Gragas and Sejuani getting that armor, and then being able to just tank and provide the CC. And then we saw Nesuo in the last really 2 major team fights just completely dominate, getting a quadra kill and a triple kill. So
yeah, I think it was that massive wombo combo of the Gragas barrel coming down with the level 18 Victor ult. Just was able to demolish the entire team when they got close enough.
we're only cool, Riz. That's it. He's gonna give me the frog face, and that's it.
All right, so we are hopefully getting set up for game number 3 here. Again, we have basically 0 communication about what's going on, but hopefully everything is going well, everything is getting set up, and we'll be invited soon.
Yeah, as we're getting ready to get invited, who do you think we're going to see when it comes across the ban list? I think from the Kings, I think they'll still ban out that Kled. I think this was obviously a win for them when it came to forcing Budinsky onto Renekton, and even if they didn't mean to force him on Renekton, if he did try to pick that away from Fire Theft, it didn't go the way that they wanted it to. There's my invite.
Alright, there we go. Get on into that spectate, and we are
Hey, buddy.
going to get ready to get into game number 3. An exciting series. I'm actually super excited at how close this series has been already. I know that the KC Kings have kind of been just a very dominant force within LeagueKC so far. Been a very strong team, as well as one of the highest ranked teams in the entire league, and so I'm very excited that this was a really close game. So now we just have to figure out if it's KC Adversity really stepping up, or if this is just the KC Kings not preparing, or just feeling a little bit overconfident.
Play Silver Scrapes on stream.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have the rights to that.
Mark Z edition. No, I'm not gonna do Mark Z edition.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I won't be doing that either.
Yeah.
At least not until I've had another beer or two.
I do like how Adversity all has the same icon. Look at them showing off their teamwork.
That synergy is definitely showing through, not only in their summoner icons, but as well on the fields of justice. Hopefully we can. They're probably hoping for that Kled to come back, but I think that was a good ban coming from the Kings right away. Budinsky showed he was very dominant and very comfortable with that pick. I would assume he's not getting that back for game number 3.
Yeah, and I had a source tell me that I think Adversity and Kings played earlier. I think it was yesterday. And that Adversity actually had pulled out some wins over there. So I think, honestly, I think it might be Kings, underplaying a little bit, but I think it's also Adversity really stepping up their game and showing off how prepared they can be with everything. But again, this is where a team that's been together for a while, and a team that has, Xeno and Captain Jax and Fire Theft, they've been around when it comes to plugging in and playing and thinking of team comps for a while now. So maybe we are seeing almost like a TSM effect. Their game 1 isn't very good, but then also they can come out and be able to make some good changes for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was asked a great question from B. Rizzle. Predictions on which lane the jungler should focus for game 3. What do you think, Mr. Meaty Mitts?
Say that again? I'm not.
So
what chat as you?
I don't know. What lane should the junglers focus for game 3?
Oh, to tell you the truth, I think that bot lane is going to be a very big focus. Again, just from the 2 games that we've played, top lane.
Oh, yeah, they're 1-1.
Top lane was I felt very one-sided either way, and it was the either side for each game. So first game it went to the side of KC Adversity. Second game it went to the Kings. And actually, maybe that's where they should focus at that point. If they can get that one extra winning lane, that might be enough to snowball them ahead. But I think that that bottom lane is a very impactful lane. We saw Lefty on his Zyra first game was very, very impactful with the game. I'm sure he's posted his plays to the Discord channel and everything. It was a very, very impactful Zyra play. He did a lot of work that first game, so hopefully they're going to be able to pick that up, being that it was they banded away when they were on blue side, so maybe they're going to leave it up and be able to pick that, come back with a little bit of that. They had a very dominant bot lane, so I think that's what KC Adversity should look for at this point is getting something like that super strong bottom lane back, and I think the Kings should focus on doing exactly what they did. They did that last game. I think the comp that they forced Adversity into just played into theirs perfectly.
Agreed, and I think they almost went hand in hand, where Adversity was like, hey, Lucian mid is strong, let's do this, and they didn't think about maybe we should do like an Elise jungle, someone that can still provide CC but provide some AP or or maybe an AP top. They didn't think through, I don't think, as much as let's do an all AD and then not get our pressure, especially in the bot lane. So yeah, we'll have to see where everything comes out, and we see the Nami ban coming out. Godwin, how do you feel about that? The Nami was banned out. But like you mentioned, the Zyra is up, so they pick Lulu. Does this mean that Zyra gets taken on the other side?
I would imagine so. Again, they don't have the Caitlyn to play it with, but I think that the Zyra was just as impactful, if not more impactful, than the Karma was that last game. So looks like they are going to pair it with the Varus, though. Should be an interesting lane. Another poke lane. Again, lots of damage. If they can get a root down, it's going to be a lot of damage.
So I just want to make some comments on this. We can hash this out a little bit. In the years that I've been playing League and doing KC Game Ons and things like that, a lot of it depends on the order that you pick things. And we see Lulu being picked up here on the left side, which we understand. I mean, that's most likely Xeno. I've never seen Neswo play Lulu mid or Fire Theft play Lulu top. So it's most likely Lulu support. Why do we immediately pick up the Zyra then? Because Zyra's not going to go anywhere else either. Why not try to pick a jungler or pick an AD carry or pick something right away on the other side to secure that down versus just simply looking like they're kind of counter picking what's going on over here? And I say all that in hopes that this Heimerdinger actually gets locked in. Just that would make my night.
I know that there's been a couple people in the LeagueKC community that have been advocating for that Heimerdinger, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna get locked in today.
Too bad. But we do see that Ezreal and Gragas being picked up. Again, Captain Jax has performed well on Ezreal for months now. Captain Jax, for those of you who don't know, used to play mid lane. He used to be a mid laner, and Lucian, but mainly Ezreal, are the two. If I play a mid lane, I can play these AD carries because Ezreal's a caster basically. So Captain Jax has been performing very well on Ezreal, again because it kind of mirrors and reflects what you can do from the mid lane. So I think that's a great pickup coming from Kings, because he's played that. Who did he play the first game? Can't remember who he played the first game.
I think he played Ashe.
You're right, he did, because he missed like an arrow, and I chuckled. But we do see Galio.
Right.
And we see a Vi. How do you feel about Vi being picked up here?
I think Vi's a very strong champion, even if she's not being played, you know, in the LCS or, you know, in the pro leagues. She's got a lot of lockdown. That point and click CC is very strong. I think you know, that mixed with her dash, able to get over those walls just as easily as any of those other junglers, can really surprise in some of those ganks.
And we see almost a mirror of Kings' last team comp. We have that Gragas and Sejuani again, which played out very well for them with the CC they could provide. And then we see the Ezreal and Lulu bot lane, Vi versus Bay. And we see the Vladimir mirror in mid, which I think is going to be great because his ultimate being placed down, be able to do a lot of AoE damage, amplifying the damage around, everything can go on. And so we'll see what happens from there. And we see Jace hover for mid lane. We'll see how this goes. Picked, locked in. There we go. Heyo.
Locked in against that Vladimir. Well, hopefully Yamsu should feel comfortable playing into that Vladimir, since he just obviously showed that he has some mastery over that champion.
So we see, I don't know. Again, we see a Kings team comp which has kind of, you know, more than like almost three-dimensional, has more than one objective with it. And then we look at adversity and we see a Vi who wants to dive, can kind of dive with a Galio, get locked up with the Zyra, but we also have the poke coming out from Jace and Varus. So, I mean, again, it's if adversity can make sure that they play a poke game and force Kings to get poked, then they definitely are going to be able to come ahead. But if really anything other than that happens, we will probably just see what happened last game, where they just slowly got choked out, poked their head out a couple times, and made a little pushback, but they weren't able to actually, you know, come back and play their team comp like they wanted to.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I mean, the good thing about the Kings' lineup, they've basically just, this is what we did last time. It worked really well, and it's probably going to work really well again this game. I'm not sure. The thing that confuses me about that, yeah, with your Jace and your Varus wanting to poke, you're trying to poke down a Vladimir and a Gragas that can just immediately heal back up. And you know, somebody else like Sejuani that should be super tanky. I think they're going to have a hard time with that. And then you get somebody like Vi who's going to be less tanky than probably your Gragas and your Sejuani and maybe even your Vladimir. Going to be trying to dive in and take those guys out. I just don't think that is going to be enough damage to just assassinate those guys quick enough. I definitely like KC King's draft a lot better than Adversity's this round.
Right, and B Rizzle from the chat saying that Ninja does play really good Vi, which I would hope so. With game 3, I wouldn't be pulling out something I'm not very good with, but plays a good Vi and usually uses as follow-up and rarely as main engage, which that's pretty interesting because if that means that instead of trying to engage with the Vi and grab someone and poke them out, maybe they try to use the Vi more so as a counter engage. Well, if we see Gragas and Sejuani trying to come on people, what if Vi then is using her ultimate to kind of
Alright, well either way we've got about a minute left to go before we actually get into this game. These awesome spectator delays prevents anybody from shadowing our stream. But just so everybody knows again, because I was apparently completely missed the first half of the last game, this is the LeagueKC Season 1 League. We've started up. I can post the link into chat again, so you can check it out. We've got quite a few teams signed up. The KC Kings and KC Adversity here are playing the first series of this league tonight. We're going to try to stream as many of these games and series as we can. This is the game from the Plat Plus League, though. So these guys are all going to be competing for a pretty fantastic grand prize. I think the prizes are listed somewhere on the league here too, but lots of prizes and lots of bragging rights for sure around the LeagueKC community. So we're super hyped to have as many teams as we've got signed up for this league. So hopefully there should be some really good games throughout. And hopefully once we get closer to the end of the season, we'll get all of the details nailed down for the finals and everything that we're going to do there. But we should be getting a big finals tournament at one of the LAN centers, and we'll be hopefully having a big tournament, and it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully have in-person event, something similar to our Extra Life event would be absolutely fantastic, I think. All right, and for some reason it looks like my stream is a little bit delayed, but all right, it looks like we're getting into Champ Select. They're loading into game now at this point. Alright, everybody is heading out onto the Rift, and we're going to see a little bit different lineup than the last time. This is the first time that there hasn't really been any of too much crazy invading. We're going to get a little bit of trying to squeak into the jungle by Master Link there on Sejuani, but everybody else is setting up pretty defensively this game, which is completely different than what we saw before. The last two games, everybody's been pretty excited to get into the enemy jungle and get these games started as quickly as they could. But it looks like everybody's going to be playing pretty safe this time. Alright, so it looks like I might be having a little bit of some technical difficulties as far as Spirit Bear goes. So I'm on my own right now. I will be hopefully he'll be joining me back as soon as he can. Alright, so we'll get him back in here as quickly as we can. Again, I apologize so much for all of these technical difficulties and everything that we've been dealing with. But we're just excited here to be bringing you a couple of these games.
Hello.
All right, looks
There
like
we
we
go.
are back in action. All right.
Oh,
The good
this
thing
this is why I just need to run over to your house.
yeah, right. The good thing is nothing too crazy happened. It was a pretty safe start compared to the starts that they have had the last two games. So everybody stayed pretty much at the river and just kind of looked at each other, put down a couple wards, and everybody stayed pretty safe. So you didn't miss much, and now we're back. Hopefully before anything crazy happens.
And again, we're seeing
Lots
great
of damage.
aggression.
Jeez. Unfortunately, the flash looked
Polymorph.
like he went kind of the wrong way. And Lefty is going to get taken out on the Zyra.
Oh, double kill.
Coming out for Jack Sparrow. We saw how this went last game. It did not go well for the bot lane.
Yeah.
My guess is that double kill, including the first blood, Captain Jackson is going to be able to push this even farther than the last game. So already not a good start for KC Adversity.
Yeah, and again, just Kings just knowing how to be able to, seeming like they just have better communication on, hey, when we are this level or when we have these abilities up, this is what we're going to do, and they play in unison. Where it seems like Adversity with Nachos and Lefty, they're just more so playing reactive. Like, oh no, they're going on us. This is what we should do, and they're not thinking that one step ahead that we see coming in from the Kings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is going to come from the years already of playing with each other coming from the Kings. But we definitely know that Adversity can take a game at least, so they are 1-1 at this point. So that gets me excited. Doesn't matter how long you've been playing together. Definitely can. Anybody can come in and play some games here. So. Teleport coming out from Yamsu. He's going to try to deal some damage to Neswa. Doing a lot of damage.
Ignite coming in?
Yeah, Ignite coming out. He's feeling confident.
Oh, here comes the Q from Neswa. He should be able to get... Oh, no.
Oh, man. So close, so close. Flash is coming out from both sides. All summoner spells in the mid lane are gone. I feel like there should be some junglers walking that way. I see Mass Link on the Sejuani is... Vi's taking a little bit longer. Looks like he is going to start walking up that way. Looks like those mid laners are going to be playing a lot safer though.
Yeah, I want to see each one trying to stay in lane, be able to make sure they don't fall behind in CS. But I do like seeing Yamsu not being afraid to go toe-to-toe with Neswa, which a lot of times people are afraid to do. And we see the ultimate coming in from Ness. Not enough damage to be able to do anything, but again, able to push Yamsu off that tower to be able to, again, get ahead in CS, be able to get control of the lane and say, I am the person who's in charge here.
I've really enjoyed watching this top lane. I realize that
That's
they've
what I'm
all
thinking
been,
too.
They've been playing tanks pretty much this whole series, but man, they have not been afraid to go at it and really fight for lane dominance. It's just been really fun to watch.
I think what we've seen too, kind of just repeated over and over again, is Budinsko just pushing pushing the issue as much as he can, getting ahead in CS because he's playing so aggressive, making sure that he's in charge of the lane. But then, well, other than that first game, really, but then we see Budinsko kind of make some missteps and try to push us like too much, and then that's when Fire Theft just continues to play with a cool head and cool thoughts and make sure that he can still make an impact, even if he does get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think they have been a very interesting and fun part to watch of these games. Very pivotal in the games as well. So we'll see who ends up getting ahead. Fire Theft had some really solid barrels, ultimates last game. Really turned some fights around. Did a lot of damage, but now that Budinsko's on this Galio, he might be able to impact some of the other lanes with his ultimate too. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how much he's able to tank up. Great snare coming in, but Captain Jax does jump over it. Heal coming in through, but there's an exhaust on the lefty. Lefty is able to make it out alive, and we see Captain Jax having to back out because he actually took a lot of damage whenever he did get over the root. And now we see Yams just jumping in. We see just fights all over the place, and a great shot glass coming in there, doing a lot of damage back to the Vladimir, who is going to be able to heal it back up. But again, I'm loving to see Yamsu being able to go toe-to-toe and not being afraid of doing anything.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely comfortable with his Jace as well. Being able to definitely trade that damage back and forth.
As far as the junglers go, we do see Sejuani picking up a little bit more CS than the Vi, but that honestly could just be simply the camps that they've visited. But no one's had an impact yet on ganking or anything like that. All we've seen so far is Just a great play coming in from Captain Jax and Xenocide on the bot lane for those kills.
All right, more aggression coming out from that mid lane. They really just are going at it. Yeah, this everybody's playing for. They're playing like this is the finals already. I feel like they really just want to get these kills out and win this game for their team. Everybody is really pushing. I feel like they're pushing their limits.
Yeah, and I mean, no one ever wants to start 0-1. I mean, whether it be League of Legends or be, you know, the games you're playing with a kid. Here we see a counter kick coming out. Ultimate missing from Sejuani. Great damage coming back out. We see Vi using the ultimate to be able to jump onto the Sedge. Sedge flashing forward, not able to do enough damage because that Hex Drinker does. I don't think Yemsu was going to go down, but great job from the Hex Drinker. Ultimate coming out. Xeno forced to flash out. Man, it seems like when one thing happens, something else happens on the other side of the map.
Absolutely. But Vi is gonna grab that Skull Crab and probably gonna head down bottom there now that he knows flashes are down, or at least the flash from Lulu is down. But Lulu is gonna go back, so it's should be safe. Vi's gonna go back to farming. So 10 minutes in, and we're looking at just a couple hundred gold lead right now for the KC Kings. Nothing too crazy has happened. Did get so have gotten some really good fights to watch here, but not too much as far as people actually going down.
Yeah, again, commending a good communication between Yamsu and Ninja on that mid play, knowing that they could get the counter gank, and instead of trying to run away and kite back, which would have, you know, had Yamsu eating the Sejuani ultimate, went forward onto the Vladimir, and then they both collapsed back onto the Sejuani. So I think we're seeing better communication coming forward from Adversity here, being a little bit more aggressive, playing together on some calls and some teamwork, but like that.
Right,
So
Yamsu
is on the bot.
Yeah, is definitely on the bot side, trying to get Captain Jax caught out, but Masslink on the Sejuani is down there for that counter gank. Vi coming down the lane,
good
not going to be
stun.
there in time. Damage coming down on everybody, but Varus is the first to go.
Gragas from behind.
Gragas teleports down and is going to. Oh, he
Jax.
flashed right into the Q from the Ezreal. That was a really good predict from
Yeah,
Captain Jax
I
there.
think he's good enough of a player that wasn't a misclick.
Yeah, that was
that
the predict. Yep. That was good. So they're going to go and try to grab that dragon as well. So 2 kills and a dragon for their troubles. KC Kings are, I don't know if I want to say slowly running away with the lead, but they are. They're definitely in the lead right now.
All right, and we'll probably see a first blood going down, and we see Neswa flashing forward with the ultimate. I don't know if that's going to be enough to take him down. It's not great ultimate coming in from Vi. We see Yamsu get close enough to get taken down by the by Vladimir, but that traded it out, and technically Adversity came out with more gold on that because of the assist on that. And Fire Theft just pushing around Budinsko, and he gets out. All right, fair enough.
He's gonna get out. Sure is going to get out. All right, he's actually going to stick around and make sure he gets the rest of those minions too. Fire Theft going back, but Budinsu's got to feel good about that, getting that first tower. Very close to evening up that gold at this point. Even though,
it is even now, right? Yeah.
Even though kills are very much in favor of KC Kings, gold is sitting at even. So.
Well, and all the gold though is with Captain Jax and his fancy,
absolutely.
you know, suave, debonair jacket there. Some gold lining going on with all the gold that he has. So everything's being funneled in for that. We see Lefty missing the roots onto the Sejuani. Sejuani is able to jump away. Seems like that they are rotating switching up the bot lane for Adversity to go to top side, because Galio does have enough wave clear for everything to hold this tower on his own 1v2. So I think this is a really good play from Adversity, making sure they can be able to get a lot of damage out. And we see Yamsu again jumping in onto Nesuo, showing him that he's not afraid of the damage that Vladimir can get back. But
Gragas coming in from above there, and he is going to get ulted out of the fight, but Vladimir is able to follow him and grab the kill. Taunt
coming in, but not under the tower range. We see Captain Jax pushing a lot of damage back out.
Oh,
another mystic shot.
No!
Oh.
Oh man, yep. He's just been on point with that Ezreal.
And sometimes you over juke too. I want to call that one an over juke.
So that's one of those. I mean, is Ezreal a worthy ban away from the KC Kings? Captain Jax is very comfortable with him, and he's 5-0 right now. I think he's been doing some, just crazy work on Ezreal these last 2 games.
I don't know if it's ban worthy. I just think you have to go into it saying, either we pick a bot lane that completely counters the Ezreal and we won't let him get ahead at all, or we make sure that we play safe and stop getting killed by him in a 2v2 situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Ezreal's not a champion. You usually think of that as, oh, he's dominating me 2v2. You don't think that. A lot of people coming in trying to take blue buff.
Very aggressive there, 1v4.
I don't think they're out just yet. We still haven't seen Adversity's second fold of their team comp where they're able to sit there and poke people out and try to dance around objectives. So we'll see how that goes as we see Fire Theft tower diving, gets ulted up and picked up by Nacho's able to kite back, and we see Fire Theft going to be taken down by Lefty from that Ignite, and now we see Xenocide cut out. He's going to use the Blast Cone to get over the wall. Yes, he is. And I was just making sure they weren't going to just immediately turn that into a Rift take, but we see Sejuani right underneath. Lefty still has ultimate. They kind of just look at each other and say nope and run away.
Yeah, no, we don't want to take this one. Mashlink does want to take this one, though. He is going to
flash forward onto the Captain Jack Sparrow. We see a polymorph coming out and exhaust coming onto Vi, but Vi was able to push out Captain Jax, and again, he's the one with all the gold, and so they're able to take down Xeno and Masslink, making sure they could take that Rift now. And so that was a great job.
Is right back in this. They're going to grab this Rift Herald, and they're going to be able to push down a tower or two with that. That's super good for them at this point. They really something like that.
You have to kind of question Masslink's decision to dive onto the Jace. You just saw most of the team. You look on the map and you say, well, I don't see all 5 dots on the map right now, so I should make sure I stay safe. But he jumped onto the Jace, and I think once he did that, he tried to nope right on out of there. But I would say a great kind of unsung hero of that fight was Ninja. Ninja jumped onto Captain Jax, and even though he's polymorphed and exhausted, Captain Jax had to run away. And so all in all, just I think poor communication coming in from Kings, and then a great job from Adversity to not be afraid to pull the trigger. A lot of times we see teams, if they're behind, they're like, let's maybe not push this, but they said, hey, we don't care if we're behind, we're in a better position, we can take this.
Yeah, and that also just shows that extra ability of the Galio to just show up whenever he wants to with his ult.
Yeah.
Is super powerful as well. So all of a sudden you get an extra member in your team fight, and chances are you're gonna win that one.
Yeah, and he still has TP, yep. So that didn't cost them any map pressure.
All right, so most of KC Adversity down here in the bottom side, maybe trying to pressure this dragon up, getting their pushes on in their
Rift Herald.
lanes. Rift Herald is put down in that bottom lane. It's going to just do a crazy amount of damage to that turret, but interesting. I think teams are going to have to try to play with exactly when they're supposed to use that. Worst case scenario, it definitely got
Oh,
them
great
that
damage.
free dragon.
Xenocide having to use the ultimate onto himself. We see Vladimir again put down a ton of damage. Doesn't even drop the ultimate before he goes into pool. Here comes that pool, and we see Varus miss his ultimate. We see Boots is kind of caught out. He gets knocked up. He's going to get taken down. He doesn't flash away, but flash coming in from Sejuani. Double pump coming in. We see the ultimate going down to Vladimir. Vladimir isn't able to tank it up. Nobody goes down. Double kill though coming in from Jack Sparrow. Captain Jack Sibone is that triple kill coming out. No, it's not a triple kill. That was double kill. So we see a 4-for-1 really. That probably could have gone way better for Adversity. It just didn't seem like they were on the same page in that fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you had Galio and Vi jumping in to do all the damage and to knock people up and stop everybody, they were not jumping on Captain Jack Sparrow. He was able to just sit there and throw his Qs very leisurely and just get a double kill for the fun of it. Next time, they will definitely need to try to focus on him. Take a look at who the carries are, who's got all the gold. And yeah, that don't let that Ezreal just continue to just destroy them like he did in that last fight.
Yeah, it's almost funny how you said that. Like he got a double kill for the fun of it. Like he's 7-0-2 now with that Trinity Force, and it was almost like he did it for the fun. It was almost like it wasn't that much of an effort for him to just melt people down. Like he is very far ahead.
Yeah, he wasn't in the middle of the fight having to do anything crazy, juke around. He was literally just standing in the background, just throwing Qs.
Yeah.
So that's definitely strong. He's at 7-0-2 at this point. So the good thing is the good thing for KC Adversity is they have their answer to this Ezreal. They have the point and click CC. They have the Vi. They have the dive potential of that Galio.
Yeah.
They just need to get on him and make sure that he doesn't deal a crazy amount of damage before they can take him out. He is going to be slippery though, so they're gonna have to work on it. But they do have the tools, I feel, to be able to deal with this team.
Well, and here's the thing: like that's the second time that Lulu has had to use ultimate on herself.
Yeah.
And so you could be thinking and hoping that okay, now they can turn this around. But we see collapse, the pincher move coming in. Galio does ult out, but we see a great ultimate coming in from Galio, or from the Vlad. Vlad does use pool, gets healed back up, and we don't see much damage coming in return from Adversity, but great triple stun coming in. Yamsu on the backside doing as much damage as he can. He's going to be able to take out Vlad. There's an ultimate onto a double kill coming in from Galio, and now another kill coming from Varus. Yamsu is able to escape. There's Captain Jack just able to poke him out, and we see Sejuani also going down.
Literally the exact opposite of what I just said. They just decided to focus everybody except for Captain Jax, and they just,
Oh, is he got caught up now though?
It looks like he is.
Arcane shift coming out there, but he does get the kill, and he's able to get away. Wow.
Okay, so there's your 4-for-1 trade at this point.
Yeah.
Still very good on the side of.
But do you see
Jax
Ezreal
just
hanging out
flash?
behind him?
I think he just flashed.
What?
Yeah, he just flashed across the mid lane.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna replay on my own side here. Oh, it's because Lefty was in the bush recalling. He flashed forward
get to him
and tried a mystic shot. Yeah. So, alrighty then.
Interesting. All right, I like it.
And we do see them starting up this Baron, trying to force the issue.
When you've got over half the team in base still, I mean he should be able.
Can Lefty pull it off again?
He's definitely gonna try.
What?
But he doesn't look like it
not this time.
Doesn't look like it. So there is a basically free Baron for the KC Kings. Now up 4,000 gold, a couple of kills and towers. They are going to get that Baron and see what they can do with it.
And again, Baron in the hands of someone like the KC Kings is always just so dangerous because they really are able to pressure on what they want to do. And Lefty being a good support and tanking up pretty much the entire chickens. Man, 8-0-2 on Ezreal. I mean, that has to make you feel so good.
Oh yeah, the fact that he's an item and a half ahead of, you know, Varus, like that's
Yeah.
Definitely gotta feel really good. And there he just went back to finish his Bork, so he should be feeling really good now.
Yeah, Nitro, that I would agree with that one on. Yeah, the 5 seconds wasted on deciding between Baron, mid lane, and Ezreal costing that Baron. Exactly, yeah, from both of you guys, Blueprint as well, saying, and that's Goodbye Kings to identify, wow, they wasted time. If they go back, it takes this amount of time to get back to the dragon, therefore we should go for it, and they can't stop us. And there's just no hesitation from Kings on what to do, but yet there was the hesitation from Adversity on what to do.
So now we'll have to see if Adversity is up to the challenge of defending their towers.
That mystic shot.
It looks like the KC Kings are just going to try to rotate and grab that middle tower. Going to do a lot of damage, and in turn, that bait and switch is going to nab them that bottom turret, getting that little bit of extra gold, and on their Baron power play here. Hopefully they're going to try to take at least one more turret is what I would imagine they're going to try to do. Or they're just going to try to grab Dragon.
Alright, both with a Cloud. This is the third Cloud Drake of the game, which will definitely give Kings just a slight advantage when it comes to just getting around the map and, again, doing what they do best and playing that objective game. So we'll see if they can be able to use that at this point in the game. Again, it's not like they are necessarily trying to go for ganks or catching someone out like this. We should be good enough teams to know not to get caught out. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with the next objective coming up here. It is looks like a Fire Infernal Drake coming up next. So we'll see how they play around that. I think if Galio can get in and get a good taunt, get a good engage on someone, make people, not be able to run around. I think Adversity really can be able to pick up the right kills. Again, we saw what happens if they kill everyone but Ezreal. I mean, they still get an objective, but I think you're completely right. If you pick out the person who's 8-0-2, if you pick out the person who is being Scrooge McDuck over there, I think they'll be able to really take that out. And taking up tower, the taunt coming in onto Captain Jack Sparrow as he has to jump away. Again, they're trying to push the pressure, trying to utilize this Baron as much as possible.
Which I think has expired at this point.
Oh, my bad.
I think it just expired. But is
Fire
still
Infernal.
definitely trying to pressure these towers and get as much down as they can. Doing the classic 3-2-0 split push.
Classic.
Yeah. Getting the 3 members up in the top lane just to try to get that down as much as they
Fire
can.
Theft. Tries to flash over, gets also knocked up here, but they do get that top turret.
Yeah, I think they were just going on, we're going to basically siege this one, but if they send more than a couple people up to that top turret, they're just going to keep pushing on that mid turret too. So they not only did they get that top turret, but they got a decent amount of damage done on that middle turret as well, and definitely some pressure on it.
And I like too how as they run on their way out, they take the jungle. They are not leaving any gold up on the map for Adversity.
Alright, so now comes the hard task of cracking the base for the Kings. We'll see if they can actually get into the base and see how quickly they can try to close this game out. That Baron is spawning in another minute and a half though, so that might be their ticket into the KC Adversity base.
And that's kind of a good point of contention, and it depends on, do we think that Kings are going to be able to withstand the poke and the funneled CC that could be provided from adversity. Now I understand Gragas and Sejuani, and they can be able to jump in there and be able to do their thing as well. But I mean, if the Kings go for this Baron, could they simply just be picked off and poked out or something like that? So I think it'll be really nice to see what teams do when it comes to vision, as we see adversity coming through here, gathering up what they can, and be able to see who can actually be in control of this objective, whether that is Kings actually going for it or just taking a team fight, or if that is adversity making sure they get control and just poke people off of everything.
Well, the good thing is that adversity did just take very good vision control here 30 seconds before it spawns. And actually the Scuttle Crab just despawns, so Kings don't even have that type of vision around this Baron. So right now the adversity has that advantage on Baron. Everybody, the top laners there both have their teleport, but it looks like Kings are really heavily pinging towards that Baron. And with just 5 seconds left, they take all of that vision back, and KC Kings now have that vision. But adversity is right there to try to stop them. They're not going to let them have this for free.
And a great job from Kings with utilizing pink wards. And we see Fire Theft back in the back line, but he did a great job ulting Nachos. Does have to flash away. Here comes Ninja onto the back line, but no one's, again, jumping onto Ezreal. And we see a lot of damage coming out onto Jace. Jace flashing away. Nasuo on the double kill, having to walk away, but he is able to stay in the fight as much as he can. And we see everyone just diving back onto the back line. And now all that's left is Budinsko, but he's going to go down as well. So similar to before, we saw no one jump onto Captain Jack Sparrow, and as much as almost of a clown fiesta that fight was, Kings were able to only lose one.
Yeah, and I really want to shout out to Fire Theft there. His Gragas ultimates have been just really solid this game, and I think that was a really big defining factor in that team fight. He just blew the adversity apart. And while he was caught, kind of on the wrong side of the other team, he blew them apart, and all of a sudden they were the ones that were out of place, out of position. So I think that barrel was very key to that fight, and really helped them just very easily turn that fight around and take that fight.
How old is Fire Theft again? How old is Nathan? 15, 16?
I'm pretty sure he's 15.
15. I mean, to be honest, like, I know this is a video game, but that can transition to life. You know what I mean? Like, for him to be able to be in that pressure of a situation where a lot of times people can like panic flash or panic and do something, but no, he just stole blue buff from a very low blue buff Yamsu. But you're right, he was on the wrong side. But instead of panicking and trying to figure out what to do, and then just misclicking or not pulling the trigger, which there's the Infernal Drake going on over to Kings, he was able to, like you said, blow them apart and be able to force Nachos to flash, which then left him vulnerable whenever the rest of the team flashed onto him. Just things like that where his Gragas was ultimately in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, so KC Kings are definitely trying to get that vision around Baron, but they decide to start a fight in the mid lane. Gragas doing a lot of damage and getting a ton of damage taken back, but he's got a lot of healing, as well as the Lulu shields and ultimate to keep him alive. Mashlink gonna throw out his ultimate. It's definitely just a stay away from here kind of ultimate, and they're going to start this Baron up. Adversity still have 4 alive, but Masklink is going to make sure that they know, again, that ultimate wasn't enough. They should stay away from this Baron, because it is the King's Baron.
Blue says that he was pretty sure. Oh, yeah, Ninja's going down. Blue was saying he's pretty sure he meant to flank them. I think he was looking to the flank. I think he was, but I don't think he meant for them to all meet up where they did. Yeah. I don't think that's where he meant to run into them, because it seemed like he did turn around and was a little bit trying to. It seemed like at least he felt like he was out of position. But I think you're right. I think he was trying to do something similar to what happened. It just happened differently than like what was pictured in his head. But at the same time, he was able to get behind there. And did you see that shock blast? Didn't do anything to him.
Otherwise, and especially from my point of view, and I'm guessing also from the point of view of KC University, they saw fire theft on that Gragas, and they thought, all right, he's caught out of position, so we're gonna take this and collapse
Exactly.
on him. So whether fire theft knew what he was doing or not, I think everybody else that was watching or part of the KC University lineup definitely thought he was out of position, and that's why partially probably why that fight happened.
Ninja doing what he can, ulting onto the Vlad, but Vlad's just going to the ultimate and pull out of there, and we see again Captain Jack Sparrow just doing what he can do. Neswa does get a kill onto Jace, and we see everyone just going through this double kill coming through for that side of things, and we just can just see a completely rollover and Ace coming in. Double kill on this edge, which wasn't expecting that, but we did probably expect, once we saw a 13-0 and 6 Ezreal, to pull out the win.
Yep. So that is a very good and a very convincing win coming out from the KC Kings, 24-11 in 34.5 minutes. That was game number 3 of our first series in the LeagueKC Season 1 League. That was the first series. That is in our Plat Plus division. Fantastic game. I'm going to get all the post-game stats pulled up here. But that's kind of how this season's going to go. We're going to get some games, we're going to shoutcast them, and hopefully they're just as good as that series was. Because honestly, I'm excited about how close that was for how much I think the Kings were being favored for that series. I thought it was a really good series.
I would definitely agree. I mean, I came into this thinking that Kings was going to be able to help almost just run away with things. Not in the sense of like they're just going to stomp everybody, but I was just thinking, I mean, they're going to be able to do their thing. And we saw someone put up a fight, and I mean, they lost that first game. They forced into game 3. That gives hope to all kinds of teams. And so I think it's great to be able to see games like this, know that it's not just simply Kings is just going to walk on everybody. No, like you play the game right, you make sure that you push your advantage and push your team comps and push your strengths. You can be able to do that. The problem is maybe the Kings' strengths are a little bit stronger, or maybe the Kings know how to push their advantages a little better. And so definitely, I mean, even after this game, looking like probably one of the stronger teams in here, but I would not be too far off probably to say that we would see another game between these two, another set go to 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely. I think KC University did some really good things. I think the biggest thing in this last game, I think they had a really good, they had a decent team comp to deal with what was going on. I think they just didn't play to their strengths. They have the point-and-click CC from the Vi. I mean, if they would have gotten onto that Ezreal and been able to shut him down, but the scoreline tells it all. When he's got 0 deaths, and he's dealt that much damage, almost 30,000 damage. That's not going to be good. Not going to be good when you let somebody like that get that far ahead.
Yeah. So he thinking with I mean definitely that last game, Captain Jack Sparrow definitely got the MVP. But who do you think overall in this entire series deserves the MVP?
Lefty had that beautiful Baron steal in the first match. I also think that Xeno's played very well, and has, I imagine, I don't know what the comms sound like, but I imagine has been pushed to play that Lulu a little bit, has drawn some bans because of his play. I think Yamsu also played very, very strong in a lot of these games, in all of these games.
Right.
I think Yamsu is a very good contender for this MVP of the series as well.
Hmm. I'm feeling. I'm feeling that I might still have to give it to Captain Jax. It was either, I would say, the Captain Jax or Nesua when it comes to the whole series. I don't know. I mean, I can just simply look at the score and say 5-5-5 and say that I don't think he deserves to be MVP for the entire series. I think definitely MVP of at least game 1 could go to Yamsu rather. I don't know. I kind of wish I saw more of game 1 to be able to try to draw conclusions on who should be the full MVP for the full series. So I think we'll have to talk about it because I think it'd be fun if we try to figure out MVPs and keep track. Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
All right.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. But
yeah, there's some very good gameplay throughout this whole series, though. I will be uploading this to YouTube. I don't know about tonight, but for sure within the next couple days. So I will for sure. If you missed any of these 2 games, definitely check out that VOD. I apologize about not getting game number 1 up there, but that game did go to KC Adversity. They did win the first game, pushing this series all the way to 3 games. I thought it was a fantastic series. Super excited. If this is the first series we get, I can't wait to see what happens closer to the end of the series, to the end of the league.
totally agree. I think this is fun for of game 1. Oh wait, what's Fire Theft saying? Yeah, he stole the Baron. Okay, so I'll say this. So Fire Theft is saying Lefty stole the Baron like a beast. Which he had no smite, and so but it was still a great steal. So I'd say maybe he has the play of the game goes to Lefty in game 1, but I'm thinking that Yamsu, when he was on that Vladimir, pushed the issue twice where he almost died and was able to help completely just steamroll a team fight. So I'm feeling like, I don't know, play of the game for game 1 goes to Lefty, but I think absolutely. Yamsu deserves MP of game 1. Game 2, I don't know. Nesua just came out of nowhere with that Victor and just destroyed and did so much damage. And then Captain Jax did the same thing in game 3. So I don't know. I'll think about it.
All right. So we're going to. I'm gonna put some sort of close on this, at least for the recording, so that we can end that video appropriately. If I don't know if you want to stay on stream and chat for a little bit, or not. It's already getting pretty late, but all right. So that was just a great end to a fantastic series. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you check out all of our streams. We'll be hopefully streaming these games on twitch.tv/LeagueKC. If you want to get involved also, I will make sure we put the link to the Discord channel. That's where the entire LeagueKC community is definitely the most active. Jump in there, get to meet, play with all of these people on these teams that you're going to be watching throughout this season 1 of our LeagueKC League. And definitely make sure to keep your ear out if you're interested in joining in season 2. Definitely keep your ear out, and we're going to post about that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So again, my name is Devin Meatymitz Schreiner, because nobody heard that when I introduced myself at the beginning of this. Thank you for joining us. I was joined tonight very last minute by Mr. Spirit Bear here.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to casting as many of these games as we can. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
All right. Find us on Twitter, guys. We'll try to put out some more stuff on upcoming games, and we'll have some more great content coming out. So thank you for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Meatymitz. Thank you for Twitch chat. Shout out to Twitch chat. Twitch chat doesn't always get a shout out, but you guys do. So thank you guys, everybody, for that. So have a great night.